High School in Olney, Maryland. Josh is now the owner of Coach by Plez, LLC. Josh truly believes in empowering and creating opportunities for others. He is thankful for his family, his great coaches, mentors, parents, and close friends. Parents, students, vendor participants, all the schools from the various colleges, their leaders. I'm here to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Josh Plez. Please give him a Can I grab this mic?
Hello, hello. Wow. We good? Good, good. All right, I'm good. If y'all good, I'm good. I am great. I want to thank you all for coming out today. I want to thank you guys for showing up today, because you could be anywhere in the world right now. You could be anywhere. You could be laying in your bed asleep. You could be recovering from a hangover. You could be chilling. You could be relaxing. You could be doing nothing right now. But here you are. You showed up today because you decided that today was going to be a day of education. You showed up because you decided that today was going to be a day of inspiration. You showed up today because you decided that today you were going to be the best you. And if it wasn't you, it's a family member that needs to grow. It's your child that needs to understand the value in the world of HBCUs. Who will be the first person in the family to go to college? Is anybody in the room? That'll be the first person in college? Stand up real quick, stand up real quick, stand up real quick. Seriously, hey, give these guys a round of applause. Stand up, 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 stand up. If it's you, stand up, hold on. Because, hey, look, you don't understand, but you're breaking down a barrier right now. You are changing the narrative right now. You are becoming the future. That is special. Own that. It's your process. And as I walk through the room out there and I see all those HBCUs, I'm curious, I didn't go to HBCU. But I realized, as I'm walking around, as I've been studying, that there is something out there for each one of you all in this room. There is something out there that you can grab, and I need you to take it today. Whatever that information is, whatever that knowledge is, whatever that inspiration is, I need you to grab it. I need you to seize this moment today. Like I said, I graduated from Kent State University. Woo! A communication major in 2012. I was the athlete. And I didn't go to HBCU, and honestly, it was simply just on the fact that nobody told me. Like nobody told me. Nobody told me the greatness that was at HBCUs. Like I grew up, I was the light-skinned cat. You know what I mean? I'm light-skinned, right? So I grew up trying to figure out what crowd I should fit into. But I always felt like the extremes of either crowd always kind of made me feel uncomfortable. Like if I was around all the white people, I felt a little uncomfortable. If I was around all the black people, I felt a little uncomfortable. I was a chameleon. And most of my opportunities to make friends came from sports. I was 100% into sports. That's how I made most of my friends. I had a little speech impediment, so when it was time to compete, that's when you heard me talk. Other than that, I was a pretty quiet kid. But nobody told me about HBCUs. Nobody told me. I'm just going to lay out a couple facts here. Like, these HBCUs got something going on. And I wish somebody had told me sooner. You know what I mean? 50% of all black teachers across the USA come from HBCUs. 70% of all black dentists and physicians come from HBCUs. 40% of all black health professionals come from HBCUs. 50% of all black lawyers come from HBCUs. 80% of all black judges come from HBCUs. Nobody told me this stuff. I just did not know. 50% of all non-HBCU professors come from HBCUs. I'm talking about the schools that are predominantly white. They come from HBCUs too. 40% of all black members in Congress come from HBCUs. 40% of all black engineers come from HBCUs. And the crazy thing about it is HBCUs only make up 3% of the entire college landscape. Nobody told me. And I decided that today, and you all decided that today, that you're not going to walk out of this room without somebody telling you. You can't walk away today and say, nobody told me. Because you're going to find out today. So I need you to open your mind, I need you to open your hearts, and I need you to open your ears so that you can accept what is here today, the greatness that is here in the room next door, in the room right here, in these meetings that we're going to have later. Anybody been to Atlanta? Anybody been to Atlanta? Because if you know, like I've been to a lot of places. I traveled, I've been out of the country, I've been to Norway, I've been to Spain, I've been to Japan, I've been across the US, but this past summer I made my way down to Atlanta. And Atlanta's different. Like y'all, Atlanta is one of a kind. And as I'm walking down the streets of Atlanta, I'm bumping into brothers on my right and brothers to my left, and I realize that, black people own this block. And they own that block. And they own this business. And they own that church. And they own that store. And they own that bank. And growing up, I would have felt like a situation like that would have made me feel uncomfortable. I'm just keeping it real. But what I realized was that I felt like home. I felt like this was family. I didn't get that vibe at Kent State. I didn't feel that family vibe. And here I am just in Atlanta, just another guy. And I feel that vibe here. I feel that energy here. And when I tell you that there is something here for you in these HBCUs, you better believe it. So here I am, 2012, getting ready for the NFL draft. And I was a plan A guy. Plan A. I didn't have a plan B. I was that athlete, and there's probably some of you in this room today, but I was that athlete that knew I was going to the league. I knew it. Everything that I had done in my entire life was based on going to the NFL, and I knew I was going to make it. Then bang, tear my pec tendon in my chest, bench pressing. Not even playing, bench press. I wasn't even participating in football. I was just training to be the best. And I still remember the calls on draft day. Hey, coach, how you doing? What's up, Josh? What's going on? Hey, Josh, we're looking at drafting you in the 6th or 7th round here. It just depends on how things play out. Okay, coach, that sounds great. I'm so excited. Hey, Josh, I got to ask you, how's your chest? Coach, I got to keep it real. I just had surgery a week ago. I'm out for 7 months. And I'm thinking like, maybe they see the value in me. Maybe they see the greatness in me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they think I'm special. And the response was clear and simple. We would love to have you on our roster, Josh, but we got to move on for the betterment of our organization. Bang. And I thought I had failed. But one thing about me is I always pick myself back up. I never quit. I find a way, always find a way. And in your lives, you're going to have to find a way. I don't care if you're young, you're old, you are still finding a way. Everybody thinks that adults got to figure it out. They don't. They're finding a way every day. And I'm just realizing that as I get older. You're going to have to find a way. Fast forward through my arena football league. I bounced back, got to play a couple years. Bang! Another big injury. Shoulder this time, same side. And I remember at the end of the season having a discussion with my wife, girlfriend at the time. And I had an underlying issue that was happening through those years. I had received 7 diagnosed concussions in the last 7 years of playing football. You see, my grandfather passed away from Parkinson's disease, which led to dementia. And I remember visiting him one day. And I remember walking in the room, and I remember him sitting up with this curious look on his face. My grandpa was a sharp dude. He had this curious look on his face, and he was just looking at me. He was squinting a little bit. And he said, "Hey, what's your name, son? Who are you? Who is this?" And that broke me. And in that moment when I was having that conversation with my wife, I decided that I needed to love myself more than I loved the game of football. I decided that I needed to love my family more than the game of football, because somebody else needs me out here. And if I can't speak, if I can't talk, if I don't have an opportunity because I'm doing so much damage to myself, then what am I doing? And so I decided to step away from the game for the betterment of my future. And I didn't know that that was going to take me down a dark tunnel. I did not know. Next thing I know, I moved back to Maryland. I'm here in Frederick. And I move in with my girlfriend at the time, my wife. I move in with their family, and we move into the basement. And they're a Latino family. You know anything about Latino families? There might be a lot of people living in that house. There was a lot going on. And so here I am trying to figure out, and not only that, but there's always people over the house too. It's like they don't never stop bringing people over the house. But what I learned was that how tight-knit that family was, how close they were together, how much they bonded, how much they loved each other. They weren't perfect, but they loved each other and they cared about each other. And so here I am trying to figure it out. I'm down in this basement. I'm down in the dumps. I am depressed. I do not know what I'm going to do next in my life. I don't know if I even want to continue living because I have no idea what I'm going to do. I had no idea what I was going to do next. I was a planning guy. I really did not know. And then one day, boom, the door opens up. Bang, here comes Sandy running in. Sandy running in the room. She's fired up. I'm like, what she got going on? She walks in the room and she goes, I need you to do something. I need you to get up. I need you to understand that just because you stopped playing football, it ain't over for you. You mean to tell me that you went through this entire process of being the best you of your entire life, and now you're done? This is it? I need you to do something for yourself. I need you to do something for us. I need you to go out there and I need you to be the best version of you. I need you to be the best you. And she challenged me and she held me accountable. And I will tell you now, if you have somebody in your life that holds you accountable, that loves you and cares about you, keep them in your life. I'm blessed to have found one. That's why I'm stuck with her for the rest of my life. And I'm not stuck with her. I chose. And I choose every day. I need you to be the best you. I need you to understand that the best version of you, like I look around the room and I understand that everybody in this room has dreams and goals and aspirations. And I'm telling you right now that those dreams and goals and aspirations ain't going to come true if you're not worried about being the best you. Every day. Be the best that you can. Be all that you can be. The best version of yourself is a beautiful version of you. It can achieve so much. It can help other people. Your community needs you to be the best you. Your family needs you to be the best you. Imagine if Frederick, Maryland was just 1 million people that were all focused on being the best version of themselves. How beautiful of an environment this would be. In order to survive, you need 4 basic things: shelter, food, water, air. I'm not here today to tell you how to survive, though. I'm here to tell you how to thrive. And in order to thrive, I'm going to need you to do 3 things. So if you have a pen and a paper, please take that out. If you have your notes, please take that out really quick. If you don't want to take notes, pull out your camera, because these 3 things are difference makers. And they were difference makers for me, and they can be difference makers for you. I need you to have energy wherever you go. I need you to be efficient in whatever you do. And I need you to give effort as much as you can. I'm going to start with effort. And there's not a lot of people in this room that know me, but those that know me know I got Energy for days. Like, I come with that juice every day. I work in an environment where I'm trying to make people be the best that they can be. So if I don't show up with good energy, how can I expect them to show up with good energy? How can they feel inspired if I'm not the one showing them what inspiration feels like? So I choose to bring the juice every day. I speak every weekend for my football team. I'm not the head coach, but I speak every week for my football team because my football team needs me. I've just become that part of my team. Your energy comes from what you consume, though. The average person's on their phone 6 hours a day. The average person checks their phone 58 times a day. The average person is on social media 2.5 hours a day. 2.5 hours a day. What are you consuming? What are you producing? If you're putting out content, you're putting out stuff, what does that look like? Are you just the next person? Are you just following the next wave? Are you just cool just because? Are you doing it just for the gram? Or are you projecting your best self? And when you're consuming, what are you watching? You can watch garbage, you can watch trash, you can watch all the drama, all the fighting, all the unnecessary things that are going on in this world that are not helping you. For me, when you open my Instagram, man, I'm not acting like I'm perfect. There's stuff about you mean like I'm not perfect, but I follow a lot of people in my industry that are great at what they do, so that I can find more knowledge and more inspiration. I follow motivational speakers all day. I listen to E.T. Yeah, y'all know E.T. So E.T. mentored a guy named Lee Jr. I don't know if you guys know who Lee Jr. is, but that's my guy right there, and he helped mentor me for the speech. What are you listening to though? Music, right? Hip hop. Everybody loves hip hop, right? Like, I'm here with it. Like all day, I love me some hip hop, right? And you love to put on your headphones and go into your own world and listen to hip hop, right? Those Beats by Dre, they got those headphones nowadays. They got this thing called noise cancellation. I need you guys to understand there's a lot of noise in this world today. There's a lot of noise. There is a lot of that ain't helping you. I need you to turn down the noise. I need you to release the things that no longer serve you and go after those things that are going to help you pursue your passion and help you be great. And you can't do that if you're just listening to everything that bounces to you, everything that's cool, everything that's hot. It just doesn't work. There's too much negativity in the world. It's just like that. You have a choice to make. Every time you pick up your phone, you have a choice to make. Every time you decide to play a song, you have a choice to make. What are you feeding your soul? You gotta quiet your mind sometimes. Like, did anybody listen to Thames? Anybody listen to Thames? Like, hey, Thames my girl right now. I'm for it. Like, when I turn on Thames, I feel relaxed. She allows me to calm down, because I'm a high energy guy all day, every day. I'm high energy. So sometimes I need to calm down. When I'm studying, I'm trying to intake information, I'm listening to classical music, straight up. I'm listening to a piano cover. I can't listen to anything that's going to distract me from what is going to help me be better. I make that choice every time. What you consume, you project. What you consume, you project. If you eat whatever you want, however you want, guess what's going to happen to you? We all know. If you ain't drinking no water, all you want to do is drink soda every day, what's going to happen to you? We all know. If you want to drink alcohol every day, you want to smoke a cigarette, we all know what's going to happen. It's a choice. You're making choices. You got to understand that the best you has boundaries. There are certain things that you can and cannot do. And there is a time for fun, but there is a time where you need to understand that it is more important to leave the fun behind. It is time for you to understand that you need to grow, you need to develop. And how can you do that? If you're listening to all the chaos, if you're listening to all the noise, if you're consuming things that are no longer serving you, that help you do nothing. Efficiency. I need you to maximize your time, because time is the one thing you can't get back. You can't get a life back, and you can't get time back. You can't waste your life away pursuing things that ain't helping you. You can't waste your life away hanging out at the club. You can't waste your life away hanging out with people who don't want anything special for themselves. You can't do that to yourself. That doesn't make sense. One of my old mentors used to, like, it literally, I felt like every conversation I had with him, at the end of every conversation, he used to always go, does that make sense? My man Dan Gilbert, he used to always, does that make sense? And I was like, yo, why do you always ask me, does that make sense? Because he says, if it doesn't make sense, then what the hell are we doing? If what we're doing is not allowing us to be the best version of ourselves, if what we're doing is not allowing us to move forward, does it make sense? If I have a goal and I have a dream and I have an aspiration, I decide to do things that are not going to help me, and I decide to just kick the bucket and decide I'm just going to do whatever I want. That doesn't make sense. I need you to make it make sense. Make it make sense. I know your parents tell you all the time, like, that don't even make sense. Come on, man. I need you to be process-orientated, not goal-orientated. Because you got to understand that the process is what makes the person. It's about the process. If you just shoot for a goal, yeah, cool, a doctor is a doctor. A football player is a football player. A motivational speaker is a motivational speaker. Kim is Kim. Right? The title don't define you. The process of how you got there is what defines you. What did you learn along the way? What did you have to do? What struggle did you have to go through? How did you develop? How did you bounce back? Rick Ross said it best. He said it like this: I don't want to move fast, I want to move correctly. Don't try to skip the process. A weak process creates a weak foundation. And a weak foundation, as we all know, a house built on sand, when that storm comes, you're going to get rocked. Take the stairs. Go step by step by step. Don't jump to the elevator. Don't try to skip any steps in the process. There are things that are going to be hard. You're just going to have to go through those. And what you realize is as you're going up these steps, that some of these steps turn into escalators. The steps will move. Because after you develop yourself for a certain amount of time, the process that you have gone through will create a foundation that will allow you to 2x yourself, to 5x yourself, to 10x yourself. I went from failing at going to the NFL to assisting and developing over 160 student athletes to make it into college. The process is going to create character. And the last thing I need you to have is effort. Ray Lewis says it, and I'm a football guy, and you already know effort is between you and you. The only thing stopping you is you. How hard are you willing to try to succeed? How bad do you want it? Eric Thomas, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. You got to give everything you have. Look, I promise you the pain and regret of not going after what you really want and that what if feeling, like what I wish I could have, I should have, I could have. That's the worst feeling. Because I promise you guys, until you have, there's a tremendous amount of pain that comes from really working to be your best. Like I wanted to go to the league so bad, and I failed. But my failure created a process. That entire piece created me and allowed me to be here in front of you today. And it's a blessing to be here in front of you today because I gave maximum effort, no matter what, to be the best that I could be. And I do that every single day. It doesn't matter if I was playing football. It doesn't matter if I'm coaching. It doesn't matter if I'm mentoring. It doesn't matter if I'm developing somebody. I do the best I can every day because I know it's necessary for me because I have a role in this world to help other people be their best. And I know, and there's a lot of great people in this world, but I need you to understand that in your process will help you become good. And I need you to be good before you become great, because in the process of being good, you'll become a good person. A good person has good quality, has good characteristics. And those characteristics allow you to be great. That's what makes you great. It's the process. It's what you build inside yourself that allows you to be great. Notice I'm not asking you to be perfect. Because ain't nobody perfect. I'm not perfect. Your parents ain't perfect. You're not perfect. Your teachers ain't perfect. The president ain't perfect. Nobody's perfect. There's one person that walked this earth that was perfect. And his name is Christ. But I will tell you this. I want you to shoot for perfection now. As a football player, I always wanted to make the perfect rep. As an athlete, you always want to do the perfect rep. You always want to do it correctly. You always want to do it exactly to the T. And I understand that I might not be perfect, but I need you to understand that when you shoot for perfection, when you jump up in the air and swing, you need to understand that you ain't never going to be perfect, but that is the goal. Because when you miss perfection, you will fall into greatness. Greatness is right there. It's right below perfection. You ain't going to be perfect, but you could be great if you chase it. If you want it, you have to take it. Don't worry about if I'm perfect or not. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to mess up a lot. I've messed up so many times. It's ridiculous. She got some patience. But I tell you what, God took his time with me. And he's still doing his work. My process will help me be great. So I want to do this one exercise with you guys, and then I'll send you out. I want everybody to close your eyes and put your heads down real quick. Close your eyes and put your heads down. And I want you to visualize you being the best version of you. I want you to visualize your goals and your dreams. I want you to visualize your purpose. That could be providing for your family. That could be becoming a pro athlete. That could be whatever it is. I want you to just think about that. I want you to visualize what that is to you. I want you to visualize the hard work that it's going to take. I want you to visualize the energy that it takes. When you walk in a room, are you lighting up the room or are you darkening that room? If you're on a team, are you helping your team be great or are you a detriment to your team? Are you just holding them back? Are they dragging you? I need you to visualize yourself executing on the day that you need to execute on, that test that you need to execute on. I need you to visualize yourself being great. I need you to visualize having success walking across that stage with a diploma in hand. I need you to visualize yourself walking in a room and receiving that job because your process has allowed you to get to the point where it doesn't even matter what they're going to say. You walk in the room, you're going to have that job because you did what you needed to do. I need you to visualize yourself. You have to see this self for yourself. You got to see it. You got to believe it. I need you guys to repeat after me. I believe in me. I believe in me. I believe in me. Now, some of you guys don't believe in you yet. I see some of you guys are not saying it. Say it with me. I believe in me. If you don't believe in you, then nobody else will. Because I promise you, a lot of people didn't believe in me, but here I am today. A lot of people thought I was going to fail, but here I am today. And my greatness, and I'm still working on that, but I try to be great every day, but it's kind of wrapped up in a nutshell. I heard this quote in college, and it just kind of stuck with me. And it goes like this. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And what I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I shall do. And what I need you all to do is find a way to give energy wherever you go. To be your best, to give effort. Do the best that you can, no matter what. Even though you might fail. Understand that it's the process that's going to help you develop. And I need you to be efficient in your process. I need you to do things the right way. There's your way, but there's also the right way. And I need you to understand that you can't waste time in this process. I need you to understand that you got to make sure that you are dotting your I's and crossing your T's on everything you do in your life. Say this with me one time. I am only one. But I am one. I cannot do everything. But I can do something. And what I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I shall do. Thank you guys for having me.
well doing things.
Yes.
In front of you, standing before all these other men in here, young guys. He's an example. He's an example. He's an example also for us women. This is what we should be looking for. Even in your little boyfriend time. You know, I'm not saying he had it all together then, but look what they grow up to be. Credit to his mom and his dad and all of those other people in his life. I'm telling you guys, we're about positivity here. We're about making sure you grow. We want you to see some positive people. And Josh, you keep doing what you're doing. We're moving this forward. You already said what you wanted to help you with, and we're going to help you do that. God is going to funnel grants my way, and we're going to help you do what you want to do. That's what